No,
I'll buy you lunch. Let's celebrate.
I
Let's
don't
have
want
fun.
lunch, because lunch to me would be a waste of time when I can spend my time trying to stop this madness.
You're not going to stop it. It's all over.
Well, I don't agree with you.
It's done.
Listen, did you...
And we've got the chance. Well, the CBI, of course, like you, wanted to join the euro. They were wrong then and they're wrong now.
What did the employers...
And that is true. I remember that.
Absolutely.
I remember every leading financial
and the exchange rate mechanism
in Britain telling me if we
we're
don't
not
join
in the
euro,
euro.
it will be catastrophe. And we didn't, and it wasn't.
You go and find... Go on, Susanna.
All right. And where do I stand on Brexit? Well, here it goes. The working class have spoke. And I'm one of them, and I'm with them. And there it is.
When you hear someone like Alastair Campbell spelling out what he thinks could be the real downside...
I gave up listening to him a long time ago.
What's going on? Today we've had Farage discussing with Alastair Campbell on Good Morning Britain. Basically, what Alastair Campbell was arguing here was that even though this Wednesday we're supposed to be triggering Article 50 to begin Brexit, to actually begin leaving, even though it was all those months back in June that we voted to leave, finally we are gonna start moving, and it's still gonna be... I don't think it's gonna happen overnight. I don't think that means the trigger Article 50 suddenly, bam, you still have to have the negotiations, but this is really getting the ball started. And Alastair Campbell, basically best mates of Tony Blair. Tony Blair, you've got Tony Blair, Alastair Campbell, Richard Branson, all these types trying to stop Brexit, and call for another referendum, in fact, which is very sad that they are not ignoring the people who voted, a majority of who voted to leave the European Union. And you've had a lot of sad people only mere days after a terrorist attack in London actually protesting Brexit, which is very sad because it shows that people are so... It's like they move on to the next thing so quickly, and I know people have become desensitized to a lot of these things, but it's not only that, but it also shows how little people care about the nation state. They don't care about it. The fact that they're more happy to have a European Union flag, which means nothing to anyone, and they toss aside their Union flag as if it all those years, all the centuries of history, of democracy, of culture, mean nothing to them, and they toss it aside for some new project of a United States of Europe is shocking. And you see Alastair Campbell, I'll link to the video of it if you want to see it, and it's basically the two shouting at each other, and they couldn't be more unpopular. The people like Campbell and Blair, their stock is completely gone, and now Mint, who's in the Labour Party now, is equally unpopular. I'm trying to think who's more unpopular now, Blair or Corbyn. They both have equally low ratings, and to be honest, I think there's a large mass of the public who hate both of them or just don't like either of them, and them weighing in on this issue really does not help their case whatsoever, because no one wants to listen to Tony Blair. Everyone just thinks, well, look what you did with the Iraq War. Look what you won 2 elections. So what? 3 elections, whatever. No one would even go near you now. And maybe Blair's this is him trying to... He thinks this is a great time for him to get back in politics, but not only that, take over the Labour Party again, but also by doing that, taking the Labour Party into a anti-Brexit thing. Even though we are triggering Article 50, and you had Johnny Rotten also came out in support of Brexit, rightfully so. He said the working class people have spoken, and he's right in large extent. To a lot of northern working class towns who would traditionally and still would vote. A lot of them would still vote for the Labour Party, are the ones who voted for Brexit. So you've got these old Labour hackers, whatever, Alastair Campbell, Tony Blair, Richard Branson. You've got these very rich old money, not old money, but like old establishment type figures trying to stop Brexit. Because I mean, no one in the establishment wanted Brexit. You've got people like Farage, who, but their whole life work was to get this to happen, and he's done it, and he's still gonna work to get us out and hopefully get us out, even though it should, and even though it's had dire consequences for UKIP now. As some people think, what's the point in UKIP now that Article 50 is going to be triggered and one MP, Douglas Carswell, has now left. But I still think they hold a position to have a real right-wing party in England, even alternative to the Conservatives. And with Labour being as unpopular as ever, certainly a good chance for UKIP to take over that second place position as the opposition to the government, which I think for the foreseeable future will be Tory Conservative for, as I say, the foreseeable future, because I can't see any realistic competition from the Labour or UKIP. Whereas I say UKIP could become the second party possibly, but even they have their problems, and no one really wants to stick their name to them as well. But I just think it's terrible that there are people trying to stop Brexit from happening, and hopefully the negotiations go ahead well. And today, Theresa May also met with Nicola Sturgeon, leader of the SNP, today, and they had no great. They didn't get along, which we understand, but they did agree that now is not the time, but for another Scottish referendum. But that's only because Nicola Sturgeon herself knows that the popularity, she wouldn't garner enough votes to do it now, so she's thinking year and a half, whenever, to do it. 2018, maybe 2019, 2018 possibly, I don't know. But I'm personally against it. I wouldn't want that. I would vote to block it, but I would also vote because I think we should be all one. And you've also got a lot of things happening. Coming to mind now, Northern Ireland government. We could be going back to direct rule of Northern Ireland from Westminster, because the government doesn't seem to be able to come to any agreement after Martin McGuinness's death, the Sinn Féin leader, and the DUP, Democratic Ulster Unionist. I was going to say Democratic Ulster Unionist Party, Democratic Unionist Party, although it's unionist, and Sinn Féin haven't been able to come to agreement. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that as well. Because they don't want to call another election because they've already had three, or this would be the third election they've had this year in Northern Ireland. So they don't want that at the moment. But I'm sure it'll be equally, definitely on nationalists, Irish nationalists who would support us. It'd be very unpopular. Just to the video, and hopefully all goes well. Triggering Article 50. I hope this works out well. It's nice to hear from someone like Johnny Rotten, an anti-establishment figure who would in the past, with the punk kind of movement, be considered, you'd usually associate it with the left, but now everything's become moved all over to. He also came out supporting Trump, so what a legend. So there was some positive news today, and Nigel Farage again came across well on TV, and I'm sure he's winning a lot of people over with his non-nonsense, his straight talk, and his calmness and making sense. You know, he's straight talking. He gets to the point.